Hello students, in this video we will start Unit 6, The Other World. This unit deals with the magical world of fantasy, which many of you will believe and many of you will feel that it is just an imaginary or it is a part of fairy tales. The first section which we will read under the theme is The King's Palace. In this delightful story, children, our grandfather is remembering about his childhood experiences and he is sharing his experience with his granddaughter Kusmi. The experience was that how his cousin Iru always used to talk about imaginary things and even make him believe in them. Let's start the story. Aunt Iru was a very clever girl. Was not she, Grandpa? Asked Kusmi. Of course she was. Cleverer than you are. Kusmi stopped short. She sighed a little and said, So that is why she managed to cast a spell on you. So you can see in the picture, children, Grandpa is sitting with his granddaughter Kusmi. She asked to her grandpa that isn't it Aunt Iru was a very clever girl? So Grandpa said, yes, she was more than you. So when he said more than you, Kusmi showed a kind of expression. Then after a while, she said that that's why she was more clever. That's why she managed to cast a spell. Cast a spell means she managed to have your attention. She tells you such things, about such things that you listen it very carefully. Now let's see what the grandfather said. You are wrong. What makes you think that a person must be clever in order to charm people? What then? You need to be silly. That's all. There is a simpleton deep inside everyone. You must try to charm people by being truly silly. Students, when Kusmi said to her grandfather that Aunt Iru was cleverer, that's why she hold your attention. Okay, so grandfather said no. To hold anybody's attention, a person should not be clever. Then the Kusmi asked, then what should be the quality to hold someone's attention? So grandfather said, you need to be silly. Silly means you should talk about, means you should be a foolish person. Means you should talk about such things, such simple things in such a foolish way that one will get one will have its attention towards that particular thing. Now again Kusmi said, tell me how it is going to be done. Let's see. I have no idea. I was only going to tell you what happens when someone is put under that kind of a spell. All right, carry on. So grandfather said, I have no idea about that simpleton way, but I will tell you about my experiences. So Kusmi said, okay, tell me. Now grandfather started telling about himself. Okay, I have always had a great weakness. You see, every little thing fills me with wonder. That was a great weakness grandfather was having, children, that with every little things, you will tell any simple thing to grandfather when he was child or even now also, that fills him with surprise, wonder. He get curious, he want to know about that thing. That was his weakness. So he tells this to Kusmi. Let's continue. That is what Iru took advantage of. She kept amazing me all the time. So he tells to Kusmi that my weakness, the Iru is my cousin Iru, she took its advantage. And she always tells me about such imaginary, such surprising things all the time that I always used to give my attention. I always used to think about that particular things and she took advantage of it. But was not Aunt Iru younger than you? Now Kusmi said, but Grandpa, Aunt Iru was younger than you. Then let's continue. Of course she was, by a full year at least, but she was wise beyond her years. I could never catch up with her. She ruled over me as though I was a baby, and I could only stare open-mouthed at everything she did. What fun! So grandpa, when Kusmi said, Aunt Iru was younger than you, grandpa tells to Kusmi, he told that yes, she was a full complete year younger, but then also she was very wise beyond her years, and he won't able to manage with her knowledge and her thinking ability. That's why she always rule over grandfather, and always grandfather used to be get surprised. Open mouthed means he always used to be surprised. Then he just remembering, grandfather is remembering about his childhood, he is recalling about his childhood. That's why what fun it was, he said like that. Next, what fun indeed, she worked me up into a state with a story about a king's 7-mansioned palace. I never found out where it was, she alone knew the secret. I asked my teacher about it, but he only laughed and tweaked my tears. So one of his experience he is sharing that she told me about a 7-mansioned palace, king's palace, and but grandfather never found that palace, that 7-mansioned king's palace he never found. But Aunt Tiru always tells him about that king's 7-mansioned palace. And when when grandfather asked to his teacher, she also pulled his ears that you are just making fun over here, like that. The teacher also doesn't answer. Next, I would often plead with Iru, tell me where the palace is. She would open her eyes very wide and say, right here in this house. I would gape and say, gape means surprised with open mouth, no? And say, in this house, show me where it is. But she always said, you can't see it unless you know the magic words. Means this, he is sharing one of his experience. That what was the experience? Aunt Tiru tells him about a king's 7-mansioned palace, but she never tells where that palace is. So being curious, grandfather asked it to his teacher. But teacher also, she said that you are just making fun, and she just ignore. After then, grandfather again, he made lots of requests to Iru, but then also she never told him about this palace, and she always said that in this house only there is a king's 7-mansioned palace, but you won't able to see that unless you know the magic words. And who knows that magic words? The Iru, grandfather's cousin. She know the magic words, but she never reveal it to grandfather. She never told about that magic words to the grandfather. Let's see what happened next. Then teach me the magic words, please. I used to beg her. I will give you that seashell I slice mangoes with. It's forbidden to tell them to anyone, she would reply. So always grandfather pleaded, requested to her to tell about the magic words. Even he agreed to give her the precious things, whatever he used to have. I will give you this, so that tell me the words. But what does the reply of Aunt Tiru? She always said that no, I am not allowed to tell you. Then grandfather said, why? What will happen if you tell me? I would ask. But she would only gasp, oh goodness me. Means gasp means she shows an expression, oh goodness to me, and she leave. Okay, I never found out what would happen if she told me the magic words, but her attitude made me shudder. Means she lots of requests he made, but never Aunt Tiru tells him about the magical words. And grandfather always used to be feared that where that palace is. Then next what happened? See, I decided to shadow her one day when she next went to visit the palace, but she seemed to go only while I was at school. I asked her once why she could not go at any other time, but she only said, oh goodness me, and I was too scared to ask her any more. She used to give herself great airs when she managed to impress me. Great airs means she gives her more importance. Okay, so Students, when Auntie Roo didn't tell about the magical words, so grandfather decided to follow her. But when at the time she visit to the king's seven mentioned palace, that when she visit, when grandfather was not at home, he was in school. So he asked, why you visit when I used to be not at home? So she didn't reply anything. She just said, oh goodness me, and she leave. Okay, now after then what happened? See, sometimes when I had just returned from school, she would blurt out. Blurt out means she started talking about suddenly. Okay, you won't believe what happened today. What was it? I would ask, all excited, and she would reply, shan't tell you. She means should not tell you. She means the moment he entered from the school, she started speaking that with complete excitement. You will not believe what happened. But the moment he asked, what happened, tell me, she just said, oh, should not tell you, I can't tell you. And she left. I suppose it was the best that way. I never got to know what happened. So I could go on dreaming of fantastic things. Means grandfather says it is the best way to attract someone's attention, to hold someone's attention. Whenever he asks, she will not reply. And then the grandfather goes on dreaming of the fantastic things. Next, she would go off to the hurry-scurry fields while I was sleeping. A winged horse grazed in the meadows there and whisked away anyone who came there up into the clouds. I would clap my hands with joy when I heard this and say, what fun that must be. And she would reply, fun indeed, oh goodness me. Means that is the another thing she used to, another imaginary fairy tale kind of thing that she used to tell to grandfather. That there is one, that nearby the tree, there is one place where that winged horse used to graze. And it was, on hearing all these things, grandfather get excited. Next, she had even seen fairies keeping house and not very far from our home either. She had seen them in the gloom among the thick roots of the old banyan tree on the east bank of our pond. They lived only on nectar, and she had made friends with them by gathering flowers for them. So all these are the imaginary stories that she met the fairies also, and fairies are there nearby the old banyan tree. All these, but never grandfather has seen all these things. All these are created by Aunt Iru. But she only went to visit their houses when we boys were doing our lessons with Nilkamar, our master, on the south balcony. Other time, I would ask her what would happen if you went at some other time. The fairies would turn into butterflies and fly away, she would tell. So whenever the children were in their tuition or something or doing homework, that time she used to visit. And when grandfather said that other time can't we go, she said no, they turn into butterflies. She had many other things in her magic bag, but it was that unseen palace that really fascinated me. Just think, a mysterious palace tucked away in our very own house, perhaps right next to my own bedroom. Only I could never catch a glimpse of it, as I did not know the magic words. Grandfather tells Kusmi that she had many magical things, many imaginary things in her bag. But the most fascinating one, most surprising one was that about that King Seven mentioned palace, which he never knew. I used to often go with Iru to the mango grove, pluck green mangoes for her, even bribe her with my precious seashell. She would peel the mangoes and eat them with their leaves. But every time I asked her about the magic words, Pat came the reply, oh goodness me. Means grandfather attempt all his attempts to know about the magical words, to see that palace, but he never succeeded in his attempts. Then Aunt Tiru got married and went off to her in-laws, and the secret went with her. And I grew too old to go looking for palaces. So I never found the palace after all. So as time passes, Aunt Tiru got married and she went off. But still now he never seen that seven mentioned palace. Since then, I have seen lots of real palaces from afar. But a palace tucked away near my own house, oh goodness me. So that in this way grandfather is sharing about his childhood experiences to his granddaughter Kusmi and about Aunt Iru's foolishness, how imaginary things she used to tell and how she held his attention. So I hope you enjoyed